All right, welcome back to another episode of Fig Life. It is me, John Wangland, Johnny Podcasting here, and I am here with my partner in crime, the man, the myth, the legend, the one, the only, the motherfucking real deal, freaking heel, the single killer of the coronavirus. If you want to take it out, call Richie, the real deal heel, reared in right here. He'll take it out. He'll just breathe it out, blow it out, kick it
I
out.
got
That's
some
what he
pretty
does.
rank breath, dude. I
Yeah,
could probably
he'll
do
take it
that.
out. He's got that dragon breath, but he's here, man. Richie, what is up, dude?
I'm so happy to be here tonight. We got a great new segment that I think you guys are gonna love called Funko of the Week.
Funko of
Because
the week.
yeah, man, I got a tremendous signed Funko collection. I also have an unsigned Funko collection. I have other ones, South Park and Marvel and all that shit, but here we're doing wrestling figures,
Yep.
so I'm only gonna be doing wrestling Funkos. Unless you guys, show a tremendous amount of comments and stuff to say otherwise. But for now, I'm just going to use wrestling Funkos. So it's going to be pretty damn cool. John's going to get into the Funko world too here soon. He's got a few as of right now already, so I'm sure he'll have some to throw in the mix as well.
Yeah, my daughter's a collector of them. She loves them, and I get them for her all the time and stuff, the ones that she wants. And it's something we kind of bond over. She loves the Funko stuff, man. And I didn't like them at first, if you remember. And then I started to just see how cool some of them were, and I really got into them. And it's like one of the next ventures of things that I'm going to be getting. We have a really great Funko store around here that carries so many cool ones. So something I'm definitely going to be getting into here. So definitely, especially we got to keep up with the segments here, and it's just one more awesome thing to add to the collection and add to the show here that we can do, a few times a month here, is to show some cool stuff. So that'll be fun, and we got some fun show stuff tonight for the show. So we're gonna do a 90s themed show tonight. So we're going back to the 90s. We're gonna take a little time and go back in the time machine, and we're gonna look at some of the bizarre characters in many ways of the 90s, and we're going to highlight them here on this episode tonight. So this is kind of what we're going to call for these figures tonight. Are you serious, bro? Because these are some pretty outlandish characters. Some of them turned into some legendary characters, some not, for sure, on here tonight. One of them on here is one of the most legendary characters of all time, but it's still wild, wacky, crazy, and a lot of people were saying at the time, are you serious, bro? This is what you're bringing out to us, and look what it turned into. So lead
Yeah.
us off, man. What do you got to kick it off tonight?
So this particular figure, the character is legendary. He's tremendous. It's a "Are you serious, bro?" because of the series of figures that it was. The likeness was just wild and wacky, and the facial scans were just horrible and nothing like what this person looks like in real life. But the technology wasn't there at the time, so these are very popular figures. A lot of people kept them in their boxes, and that's kind of why they're not as valuable. But I'll go ahead and show you right now. This was my first figure that my mother bought me, actually, and
Wow.
still have it. Um,
So this is from when you're a kid.
uh, Not this particular
Okay,
one, but
gotcha.
this was the figure that she
Interesting.
did. The one that she actually got me is not it's not mint on card, but
Yeah.
this one is. I bought it to represent that. And of course, it's the Stomp, Series 1 Undertaker.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that facial scan, man. That looks more like a. I don't even know who the fuck that looks like.
He looks like Jason Momoa right there. The guy from Aquaman.
Yeah, and I see a lot of Johnny B. Bad there too, a little bit.
Yeah, with the eyebrows and the smile and everything. Oh my lord.
Yep, and so
That's
the head
bizarre.
scan. Oh yeah, dude, the head scan's bad. The scale is bad. He's not taller than the other figures that came out in this line, which Undertaker's a pretty tall guy. You got a crazy ass, wild looking, axe here. You got a cultic staff. You got
What
you
is he
got
supposed to
this.
be, a fucking pirate or something?
So these stomp figures are they're basically a elite military force is what they were supposed to be when
Okay.
they came out, and they were supposed to be like Rambo style figures,
Okay.
and they totally missed the mark with the Undertaker on it.
Yeah.
Like the rest of them, I have a signed Stone Cold Steve Austin one, and that at least looked like an elite commando, but Like the Ahmed Johnson had a club and a chainsaw, like
What the
just
fuck?
some wild shit. Yeah. And but this Undertaker here, you even got some crazy ass boots that you can't see that he wears that go over his shoes. And then, the crazy wild vest, which I think there's like a skull grenade on there or some shit.
Yeah.
Um, but like I said, man, it is what it is. They were trying to go outside of the box and make some crazy characters. This lasted for I think 3 or 4 series, and then like the last series there was like they were like moon astronaut warriors or some shit.
What the
Uh,
hell?
the second series that featured Owen Hart was like an underwater force, that they had and shit.
Woo.
So it was just crazy stuff, dude. But pretty damn wild, pretty crazy. Outside of the box for sure. Legendary character, not so legendary figure. You can even
Bizarre.
see the price tag here, $5.99. You can get these relevantly cheap, just because everybody kept them in the box. They thought they were going to be collectible, and some of them are, like the Owen Hart one. You can probably get it for 10, $12.
Because there's
It's like the
barely any
extent
Owen
of it,
figures out there.
right? So, yeah, that's why I picked
Bizarre,
this one,
man.
man. I
That's a
just want to
bizarre.
read. I just want to read this real quick because the people in this series, they had Brian Pillman, and he was like a commando with an AR-15 looking weapon and a knife. He's the loose cannon of the bunch. You had Stone Cold Steve Austin with like a beret and like a Tommy gun looking weapon and a 1911, it looks like. You had Crush with a Tommy gun, and he's like a desert camo guy. You had Ahmed Johnson with a club and a chainsaw, and he had like a straw hat.
What the
I
hell?
don't know what the fuck they were thinking there, and suspenders.
Oh,
You had the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock there, and he was like in a cane outfit looking deal. And then this Undertaker figure. I'll
Jesus.
go ahead and read this part here. It's pretty damn funny. So, Washington D.C. This is like a little newspaper thing they have. It says rumors surfaced over the internet suggesting that a elite core of World Wrestling Federation may be responsible for devastating anti-terrorist attacks around the world. The United States government neither denied nor confirmed such a group exists, but sources deep inside the Pentagon provided some sketchy details. According to these sources, the government secretly handpicked wrestlers to form an underground militia to bring to war to the criminals for justice. The World Wrestling Federation would not comment on the story, but during the period in question, as well as in recent months, some of their top wrestlers were unexplainably absent from the ring. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Ahmed Johnson, Crush, Brian Pillman, Undertaker, and Ken Shamrock are among those suspected of being part of the Special Tactical Operations Military Police, or Stomp as they are known. But others may be involved as well. A full-scale media investigation is expected to shed light on these bizarre allegations, but until then, the story remains clouded in speculation and unsubstantiated rumor.
Wow. That's
Pretty damn
bizarre.
wild, right?
Yeah, that's bizarre.
So that's the Stomp figure.
Oh my lord. That's an interesting one. I don't remember those. I've never seen them from when I was a kid. That's some bizarre stuff right there, man. I'm telling you. But
Yep.
interesting at that, man. Really, really interesting ones at that. Well, moving on to interesting. This next character that we're going to talk about is very interesting, to say the least, and probably one of the most disgusting characters in the history of wrestling. And this outfit he wore, this everything about him was fucking repulsive. And this is a very rare figure you don't see much. And when you do, it's pretty fucking pricey. And for the rate that I got this at, which I'm not going to share for this segment, along with a few others, is insane.
It's a
Um,
score for sure. Score of
oh,
the week for
jeez, yeah.
sure.
I mean, I got three really nice figures, really good figures for the price of less than the price of what this one would cost normally. It would go for on eBay. It normally goes for 100+ bucks on this one at least, but I don't know why I wanted it, but I did just because it was so wild. But it's the one and only Bastion Booger.
Oh
For
God,
those,
did it come with a slice of pizza to munch on?
let's see, do we got pizza in here? No pizza in here, man. No pizza.
Yeah, that fat bastard made anything look disgusting.
It was probably hiding in his shorts right there, and they're just not
Ugh.
sharing it with us here. maybe people remember this, maybe they don't. Bastion Booger was absolutely disgusting. And
That
every
was the whole gimmick.
yeah, and every character this guy ever played in wrestling that he did, he actually had a really long career. He was over in WCW, he'd been in the AWA, he was Norman the Lunatic. He did Friar Ferguson. Do you remember Friar Ferguson?
I do. What was the one where he it was like a Dungeon of Doom
That
character
was
type?
Norman the Lunatic.
Okay, Norman the
And
Lunatic,
he
yeah.
was like the head guy in but he wasn't called Norman the Lunatic when he was in the Dungeon of Doom, but I can't remember the name what they gave him there, but he was like their exalted one basically.
Right.
They had he was the leader of the Dungeon of Doom at one
That's
point. Never
pretty
got in a
fucked
ring.
up when you have him the fucking leader. Like,
Yeah. Go back in the archives of WCW, watch Norman the Lunatic, and you can see how bad this guy was, how bad he was in the ring. Every character this guy played was a freak, a weirdo, or just something completely creepy. He had no body at all, man. I mean, you want to talk about a
as you
bad
can
body,
tell.
as you can tell. And then wearing this, whatever Vince McMahon was thinking here, I have no idea.
It
And
looks like they took the Axe and Smash outfit and just dyed it white and like stained the fuck out of it.
yeah, yeah, seriously. And then they rolled around in the mud a little bit to get a little bit of the colors in it. It's just bizarre. And if you don't remember Bastion Booger, you probably have a good thing because that will haunt your mind forever to go see that character. As a kid seeing it, it was repulsive. I actually saw him at a house show when I was a kid, and it was fucking disgusting even seeing him come through there.
He was
Uh,
always eating, I remember that
yeah.
much. And
And
he
then
looked
he'd
like he was
store
wearing a
things in his
diaper.
armpit.
Yeah.
Like they'd have him, he'd store him in his trunks, his armpit.
This
He'd have
figure is
like
pretty spot on, bro, to be honest with you.
it
Like,
really is, man. The head scan on it is perfect, and you guys
yeah.
can see better in the pictures there than
It
I'm
looks
putting
like
up.
Tank Abbott on like steroids and tons of food.
Yeah, seriously, man. I'm telling you, it was a wild figure. It was a great line though, man. And this is one that you don't see around too much. Really, just don't see it around. When I saw it out there, and I made an offer on the few figures I bought from this gentleman to get it for the price I got it for, I was super stoked because, like I said, it's a pretty expensive figure. You don't see it very much, very infrequently. Haven't seen it on an eBay auction or on eBay even for a long time. It's just not out there that much, and people forget about this character. In this line, they had Jesse the Body Ventura from his commentating days. They had Jeff Hardy. They had Haku, which is another one I want to get. I want to get the Ming and the Haku. Once again, a
Good
pricey one.
luck.
Yeah, I know they're so pricey, but I'm hoping I could find them on a score sometime and be able to get them down. Jack and Jerry Briscoe, which I could pick up the Jerry Briscoe right now. I just haven't. It's not that too expensive to get it, but they're very plain Jane on the Jerry and Jack Briscoe ones on this. And then they got Goldberg, Richie's favorite of all time, the Goldberg one. And they got Big Show when he was extremely fat in the black outfit. He was probably almost 600 pounds at this point of his career. And
Well
it's when
over 500.
Oh, absolutely. He was in awful shape. It's when he had long hair, he would wear the full black outfit, the black shirt, everything. And then it had the big boss man where he was in his last run with the WWE in the black in this one as well. So that was all in this line right here. But if there's a character that fits bizarre 90s, it's Bastion Booger. And that's why I had to rock him out for tonight.
That boss man is severely underrated, man, with the soft good vest and everything. Like
It's
that's a
nice.
great figure.
It's nice, man. You were going to pick that up recently, weren't you?
Yeah, I think I still am. I'm gonna check it out and see what I can get it for. But
He still has it.
yeah, I might pick it up. We'll see.
Yep, absolutely, man. Well, what do you got to close us out, man? Before we get to the
Well,
Funkos.
yeah, before we get to the Funko, I got a probably the wildest character from the '90s.
Oh yeah,
Broke down all kinds of walls for particular this uncomfortable subject. This guy, he had so many legendary feuds. He's still going to this day, probably doing the best shit of his career today rather than back then, just because of substance issues and stuff like that. And plus, doing the DDP yoga, he's in much better shape now. And both physically and mentally, he's just superior now more than he was then. But
it's wild to
still
think how
no,
relevant he is today.
yeah, still a legendary character. Still, is talked about and will be talked about for the rest of the time of wrestling, in my opinion. And of course, I'm gonna cover that now. It's a legendary Goldust figure, man.
Yeah, I love that one.
This is probably next to, I can't remember what series it was, but next to his earlier Elite, which I think was like, it was like the red boxes that were really abnormal shape.
Yep.
Next to that figure, this is probably the best Goldust of all time. You just look at that head scan. He's got the smirk on his face. His outfit, it's just next to none. They detailed the shit out of it. The robe is soft goods like we like, and it's like a Ric Flair style robe, but gold.
That's
You got
funny.
the iconic wig, which I wish would have been soft goods, but still cool nonetheless. Just a great figure, man. Love this thing. It's an essential figure for anybody who's a Dustin Rhodes fan. Um, you got the iconic picture of him in the getup there, and then on the back, there's Mr. Goldust. Just a beautiful figure. God, man, if you're a Goldust fan, this is out of the Series 47B Mattel line for the Elites. You got to get this figure. People in this series were Kane, and he was in his Team Hell No getup. The Rock, which this particular Rock figure I have, it's where he had his tracksuit top that he came out in. So that's a pretty cool one. Then you got John has this one signed by his son, Brian Pillman, from his WCW days. You got the Ascension, which I didn't really care for these guys, Connor and
Nope.
Victor. And then, of course, it included a display stand and panel. I think it was like 5 different pieces or 6 different pieces there of a diorama. So it was a cage match diorama that was pretty cool that you got. This attire was from his October 1995 appearance. He was 6'6", 232 pounds, from Hollywood, California. Signature move, the curtain call, and his career highlights were the Intercontinental Champion, World Tag Team Champion, WWE Tag Team Champion, Hardcore Champion, tons of other shit, man. Just iconic character all the way. And that's one of the best Goldust of all time. Wouldn't you say so?
Dude, that's fucking phenomenal right there, man. That is a really nice one. You can't beat that with a stick. Uh, Man, Goldust changed so many things, and that's just a beautiful fig right there, bro. I love it.
Absolutely.
I'm
Love
I'm
it.
gonna I'm gonna put that on my list of ones that I'm gonna have to pick up here soon, man, because it's that nice.
Yeah, definitely, dude. It's a great figure.
No doubt about it, man. And what do you got for Funkos, man? Let's do a little Funko segment here to close it out.
I'm so excited to show this off because this is another character that is legendary in his own right, probably one of the most legendary of all time. I know you love him to death. I have both Funkos of his. Actually, I have all three Funkos. I forgot the two-pack that he was featured in. You have the two-pack. And of course, I got this in a subscription box. And I was blown away when I opened it. Didn't realize I was going to get it. It came in a great Funko protector to keep it nice and safe. But it's number 19 in the WWE figures, and I'm talking about the icon
Oh
Sting.
man, that's awesome.
Yep, and it's signed. You got the
Damn.
great white and black crow Sting. I think they detailed the shit out of his outfit really nicely. He signed it in white just to match his face paint, which I love. I'm really picky about that. Usually, if they have a different color outfit, I'd like to get the paint pen to match it. Um, just cool, man. It's got the old school Funko Pop box with the yellow and I believe that's blue. Now they got red on their boxes instead of that. So this is the old school ones, one of the earlier editions of the WWE Superstars in the Funko Pop line. You had Ric Flair, number 17. Number 18 was Roddy Piper. I have all these. Number 19 was The Sting. Number 20, Ultimate Warrior. And number 21, Andre the Giant.
Dude, that's
So
awesome right there, man. Ooh,
beautiful, isn't it?
that's a nice one right there, man. Anything with Sting on it by me is cool.
Yep, absolutely. There's the back there. Got a great picture of him. I
Shit,
love
yeah.
this. This is why it's the Funko of the week, man. You can get him in his Wolfpack attire, which was a very rare, I believe it was a GameStop exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, you had the two-pack with him and Luger, which I also have signed in green and blue.
And that's what I'll rock out here because I have the 2-pack of Sting and Luger right here. Um, this was my first Funko that I ever got, and definitely will be many of more. I picked this up on a deal with somebody for a bunch of stuff. They threw it in. I wasn't really too big on Funkos at the time, and they've just kind of grown on me. And I put it right on my mantle out here. And I'm a big Lex Luger mark, and I'm a huge mark for this Stinger right here. So you really can't beat this one whatsoever. I'm not too big on the Luger one here. I don't really think it looks that good on him, or anything like that. I don't think it replicates him too well, to be honest with you. The Sting one does though perfectly. I think it's great. And this was an FYE exclusive. I don't even think FYE is still open the store anymore, but it was an FYE exclusive, which was like a big music store, video store, whatever it was for many years. Do you guys still have FYEs around near you?
Nope, it's all closed up, man.
Okay.
That Luger though is the reason why it looks the way it does, and people have bitched about it for a long time. Is his hair?
Yeah.
It just doesn't match. It doesn't look right.
Yeah, and the color of the tights too just doesn't match to anything that he ever wore. It has him in like a bright blue, which Lex never wore really too much. That bright blue one right
He
there.
actually he actually did wear it in WCW in the '90s or early '90s.
He wore it a little bit when he won. I think they're looking at his U.S. title reign era
Yeah,
right there, a little bit. You know, he was pretty much known for his black tights that he wore.
right.
So
Absolutely.
he had a couple. He'd wear red once in a while there. It just, like you said, with the hair on it, it definitely didn't replicate him well. The Sting did though, phenomenal
Yeah,
on that
they
one.
knocked that one out of the park. It
Oh,
was the
they
Surfer
killed it.
Sting, just beautiful. Mine's signed and it's got the lime green paint pen and then the blue to match Luger's tights. It looks really cool. So that's a great
Yeah.
Funko, dude. I love it.
Yeah, Funkos, man, I'm telling you, I'm getting into them now too. So we're gonna start doing some more Funkos out here. I know you got a ton of them and are big into them. And like we said earlier, man, it's gonna be a fun little new segment we'll throw in there a few times a month and throw some Funkos out there. And you definitely can't lose with them. And they have everything for whatever genre you like, whatever thing that you get into, they're out there for you. That's a guarantee, my friends. So trust
Yep.
me on that. They're out there. You can find them and find them for a good price. And I don't know. They're really a different and cool thing. And there's some people with some really cool Funko collections. Even though you don't like him as much as I do, but the Spanish God Sammy Guevara has a tremendous Funko collection. Um, if
I
you
don't
check,
know who that is, but
yeah, you don't
I'll
know my
check him
ass.
out.
You know who the Spanish God is. He's got a phenomenal one, and he's big into like the Dragon Ball stuff, and he's got all the ones for there. Like I said, my daughter's big into it, so we always kind of bond over it there now. She always wants me to buy her all the good ones and stuff, and I'm like, what do you think these things are cheap, man? They're not that cheap, like to get. I'm not buying you 10 of these things, but she's got a nice stash in her room. Maybe one day I'll bring her on and get her to show her
Dude,
favorite.
that would be phenomenal, actually. Let's have her do the next Funko of the week.
All right, I'll do it. It won't be a wrestling one, but it'll. She has some really cool ones. She's big into anime and stuff, and she can explain it
Cool.
and all that stuff. So we'll get her on there. We'll get her on the show here. We'll get the lovely and beautiful Miss Cadence on to come do one. I'm
Awesome.
definitely down for that, man.
I'm
So
excited for that. It's gonna be fun.
it'll be fun, man, because she's got a cool collection of Funkos brewing that she's started, and ones that I'm paying for anyway. So it's always a blast for me, to get out there and bond with her over that stuff, and always
It's
fun
just
stuff,
another
man.
layer of the fig community that you can get into, you
Indeed.
know?
Indeed, my friend. And another great show tonight. We hope you guys enjoyed the 90s theme, man. I'm telling you, I thought it would be a fun one. We like to do a lot of theme shows now and kind of put things together. And our next theme show you guys will see will be a great one too, because we got some great stuff to go back in time a little bit. And we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hope you check out our podcast. We got Wrestling Anonymous, Wrestling with Reality. That's what she said, Wrestling Podcast, one of our newest shows from the great Sunny Salem and a great female perspective on the wrestling business, and just a lot of great shows on our network. So hope you check that out. rcpodnetwork.com is our website. You guys can find our information here for social media and everything that I put up throughout the show. And if you haven't subscribed now, please make sure that you do. And don't forget, every comment you drop on the videos will earn you a bid into our next drawing that's going to come up over WrestleMania week. So every comment you make on every video gets you an entry into the drawing. So the more comments you make, the more entries that you get into winning some cool shit. So Richie, got anything you want to put out there before we close it out, my friend?
No, I just want to thank everybody. Make sure you go over and check rcpodnetwork.com for all the podcasts and stuff. Like John said, we're putting some great stuff out there. By the time you hear this, you'll probably be able to hear over on Wrestling Anonymous the life and death of Miss Elizabeth. You're going to have a little bit of Lex Luger, a little bit of Macho Man, so it's going to be an exciting episode. And of course, check out Quick Fix as well. It's a great topical show. And then everything we do on Wrestling with Reality, we do a great Monday night retrospective where we revisit Monday Nitro. And then John's always got great topical shows that we do all the time over there as well. So a lot of great stuff that we offer you guys over there.
Yep. Jump on down, folks. We're always having a good time, and we always appreciate your support. We thank you guys so much for your watching this, for your comments, for anything that you put out there, for spreading the word. And we can't thank you guys enough. You guys rock, and we're always got your back here because when you're in the Fig World Order, my friend, we always like to close it out here since we're desperately running out of time, according to the great Tony Schiavone. But you're part of the Fig World Order with us here, whether you're a first time listener, a long time listener, watcher, whether you're a first time watcher, long time watcher, whatever, we always got your back because in the Fig World Order, Richie, what are they, buddy?
For life.